If you'd asked 10-year-old me what success looked like, I probably would have said, owning a vending machine, or being able to afford 2 sodas a day. Now at 28, success looked like 432,000 Amex travel points. It also looked like 3 years of skipping Ubers, sleeping in airports instead of booking layover hotels, and packing protein bars instead of buying food on flights. Every swipe, every mile, every coupon tank of gas added to that sweet, glimmering mountain of points. I never spent them. Not once. Because I had a dream. Not a Bora Bora on a yacht kind of dream. I just wanted to take one real vacation. A quiet beach, no service, hammock, audiobook. That was it. Something that said, "Hey kid, you made it out." Except when I finally decided to use those points, my account balance didn't say 432,000. It said 2,100. At first, I thought it was fraud. Some hacker in Belarus buying Ferris wheel tickets in Tokyo or booking scuba diving in the Maldives. But when I checked the trip details, my jaw dropped. Cancun. First class. 5-star resort. Spa packages. An excursion labeled Sea Turtle Intimacy Experience. Whatever the hell that meant. The names on the itinerary? Mom. Dad. My sister Kelsey. Her husband Brad. That's when I knew. It wasn't fraud. It was family. I stared at the screen, blinking like that might reverse it. Then I texted Mom. "Hey. Did you guys use my Amex points?" 3 dots. Then this reply. "Oh honey, yes. I was going to tell you, but we figured you'd help. You never use them, and Kelsey really needed this trip. Stress is so bad for fertility." No joke. That was her explanation. No apology. Just a casual mention of my sister's ovary-related stress as justification for draining 3 years of my effort. And they were already gone. Already sipping something coconut-flavored by the infinity pool. I didn't answer her text. I didn't call. I just sat there in my studio apartment, next to my broken ceiling fan and the $20 Amazon leather chair I got secondhand, wondering when exactly I became the family charity case. The one everyone assumes will chip in, step up, stay quiet. This wasn't new. When I was 12, they gave my birthday money to Kelsey because she forgot her wallet at the mall. When I was 16, I won a school essay contest, $500 prize. Dad took it to fix Kelsey's used car, which I later found out she crashed while Snapchatting. When I was 18, they used my graduation gift to help her cover a spring break ticket to Cabo. I once caught Brad wearing my hoodie, and when I pointed it out, he said, "We're all family, bro." That was the Carter household motto, we're all family, until it's time to split the check. I used to think maybe if I just worked harder, proved myself, they'd see me differently. But that line kept moving. No matter how much I did, how much I saved, how little I asked, I was always the reliable one. Reliable enough to drain. Invisible enough to ignore. But this was next level. So I did the most mature, rational thing I could think of. I logged into the airline app and looked at their return flight. Status confirmed. Non-refundable. Fully changeable. All booked with my account. A little voice inside me said, "Be the bigger person." Another voice, a much louder, sassier one that sounded exactly like my college roommate after 2 tequila shots, said, "Be petty." Guess which one I picked? Canceling the flight was absurdly easy. Disturbingly easy. Like, why does a petty gremlin like me have this much power? Easy. One drop-down menu, one modify trip. Click and boom, their return flight was officially moved to December of the following year. Not even direct. 3 layovers. 1 overnight. Have fun in Newark, Brad. I didn't delete the flight. I'm not evil. I just postponed their grand return to the U.S. by 13 months. A creative sabbatical, if you will. The screen flashed a cheery update confirmed, and I sat back in my chair like a Bond villain who just launched the missile. Except my lair was a studio apartment with flickering lights and an air fryer that beeped randomly. I didn't feel guilty. Not even a flicker. What I felt, if I'm being honest, was clarity. Not revenge, clarity. Not, "I'll show them," clarity. Just silence. For the first time in years, I had drawn a line. A real one. Not a sarcastic comment at Thanksgiving. Not a passive-aggressive meme in the family group chat. A line. I closed my laptop and wandered into the kitchen. Made a sandwich that felt like a Michelin star experience. Sourdough, avocado, sliced turkey, baby spinach, goat cheese, and my forbidden indulgence, sun-dried tomatoes. I didn't even sit down. I ate it standing up like a king surveying his conquered land. Then I cleaned. Not because it was messy, but because I wanted to. Like clearing physical space would help make the emotional one real. I vacuumed. I wiped counters. I even used glass cleaner on my mirror for the first time in months. Maybe years. I danced to a playlist I hadn't touched since college, early 2000s emo bangers. I was wiping baseboards while screaming lyrics about heartbreak and eyeliner. It was glorious. Still no texts. No missed calls. No. "Did you mess with the flights?" Panic. And that was fine. I didn't want to gloat. I didn't want to argue. I just wanted the power dynamic to shift, even if they didn't know it yet. Around 4 p.m., I ordered Thai food. The expensive kind. The one I always skip because, "You should save your money," whispered in my brain using my dad's voice. Not tonight. I got pad thai, spicy eggplant, mango sticky rice, and 2 spring rolls just because I felt like it. I even tipped the driver extra. I watched a trashy dating show while eating, laughing alone in my clean apartment, every bite better than the last. I'd spent years eating discount ramen and using rewards points like a scavenger. Tonight? This was for me. I muted the family group chat. Not because anything was happening, it wasn't. But I knew eventually it would start buzzing, and I didn't want to hear it. Not until I was ready. Later that night, I lit the fancy candle my ex got me for a birthday. I'd never burned it, said I was saving it. For what? A visit from royalty? A personal breakthrough? Well, consider the breakthrough arrived. It smelled like bergamot, sandalwood, and justice. Then I took the longest shower of my life. Washed my hair twice. Shaved. Moisturized. I even flossed. Who the hell was I? And when I got into bed, clean sheets, cool pillow, I felt something strange. Stillness. No guilt. No resentment. No obligation. No wondering if I was being dramatic. Just peace. They didn't know it yet. But I had just taken something back. It started small. A hiccup. A tiny bubble in their tropical fantasy. 2 days after I rearranged their return flight, my phone lit up with a notification. Not a call. Not a message. Just a forwarded email from the airline. Subject: Itinerary change, Flight AB714, departure modified. I opened it slowly, half expecting a dramatic explosion. But nope. Just an automatic system notice. Nobody had even noticed yet. So far, so good. I went back to sipping my overpriced cold brew like I was an innocent civilian. Because technically, I was. That night, I lay in bed with my phone on Do Not Disturb and scrolled through Kelsey's vacation posts. She was documenting the whole thing like it was her full-time job. Pool selfies. Couple shots with Brad, who never seemed to know where the camera was. Caption after caption about healing and deserving joy. And weirdly, nothing about mom or dad. They weren't tagged. No beach pics with them. Just the occasional blurry photo of a resort buffet and one video of my dad getting a sunburn while trying to paddleboard. By the 4th day, I noticed something else: fewer posts. Her usual spam of selfies slowed to a trickle. One story, late at night, a video of her and Brad arguing quietly in the background while she filmed her mojito like everything was fine. I didn't tap through. I watched it 3 times. Each time, I noticed something new. Her forced smile. Brad glancing at the camera, annoyed. The way her voice cracked slightly when she said, Best trip ever. And that's when it hit me. They still didn't know. They had no idea I had changed anything. But something else, something unrelated, was already unraveling their perfect vacation. Not me. Not yet. That morning, I got an email from Mom. Subject, just checking in. Hey sweetheart, hope everything's good. Just wanted to see how you're doing. It's so beautiful here. Wish you were with us. But next time for sure. Love you, hugs and kisses. Wish you were with us. That one got me. Not because it was sweet, but because it was a lie. She didn't wish I was with them. She didn't even invite me. She used me. And now she wanted me to play along. Smile and wave from the sidelines like I was part of the family highlight reel. I didn't reply. Instead, I finally did what I'd been putting off for years. I opened a new notes app and started listing every time they'd done this. Not just the points. All of it. The graduation they skipped for a cruise. The birthday dinner where they, accidentally, forgot to bring a gift but bought Kelsey a new bracelet. The time I asked Mom for help with rent during COVID and she said, "We're stretched thin." Right before posting a photo of their new kitchen backsplash. By the time I was done, the list was long. Like, if I ever go to therapy, this is the first thing I show them. Long. I stared at it for a full minute. Then I hit lock note. Password protected. Just for me. A receipt of everything I'd let slide. Until now. Later that afternoon, I ran into my neighbor, an older woman named Grace who always asked about my day like we were lifelong friends. She saw the spring in my step and raised an eyebrow. "What's got you walking like you just won a lawsuit?" I laughed. I couldn't help it. Just finally standing up for myself, I guess. Grace grinned. "Took you long enough." Then she handed me a Tupperware of lemon bars. "Just because." And right then, I realized something. This whole time, I'd been waiting for validation from people who never really saw me. Who used my kindness as a coupon. Who took my silence as permission. But here was Grace. No expectations. No baggage. Just lemon bars and warmth. Sometimes, family isn't who you're born into. Sometimes it's your neighbor with a cat named Steve and a talent for passive-aggressive gardening. That night, I finally opened the airline app again. Return flight unchanged. They still hadn't noticed. They were still sipping margaritas on borrowed time. But the countdown had started. The text came on day 6. Not from Mom. Not from Kelsey. From Brad. "Yo man. You know if the airline app's broken? Says we're flying home like next year, lol." I stared at it. There it was. The first crack. Not a scream. Not a confrontation. Just Brad being, well, Brad. Casual. Clueless. Still thinking it was some harmless glitch. I didn't reply. Instead, I waited. Just to see what would happen next. Because here's the thing about people like Brad, they assume systems exist to serve them. That someone else will fix it. That things just work out. Especially when you've never had to read fine print in your life. So I gave him a little time to stew. 15 minutes later, a follow-up. Or like, "Is this some time zone thing? Bro, time zone?" Kelsey finally messaged me a full hour later. Her message, of course, was laced with fake sunshine. "Hey, smiley face, quick cue. Weird thing with our return flight. Might be a glitch. You seeing the same thing? No accusations. No direct blame. Just a quick cue, and a cutesy emoji like she wasn't talking about being stranded in a foreign country. It was almost artful, how she managed to act like this was my shared concern. Like we were teammates. Like she hadn't drained my entire account and told me, "You never used them anyway." I didn't respond. I went to work instead. That day, I installed a ceiling fan for an elderly couple who paid me in both cash and banana bread. Their granddaughter had drawn a crayon thank you note that said, "You fixed the wind." That note went straight onto my fridge. Meanwhile, back in paradise, the Carter family group chat finally came to life. "Mom. Flight thing is strange. Can you check with the airlines, sweetie?" "Dad. What did you do?" Kelsey. We're not mad, we just need to understand what's happening, okay? Like, please. This is serious. They still didn't get it. They thought it was some error I could magically fix. The airline app wasn't broken. It was working perfectly. It had processed their itinerary change with pristine corporate efficiency. I just didn't change it back. That night, they started sending screenshots. Circle icons next to their names, showing frantic attempts to call. My phone stayed on silent. I watched Netflix, did laundry, and painted a patch on the wall I'd been meaning to touch up for months. They were still on the other side of the world, still technically in paradise. Palm trees, buffet stations, spa discounts. But now there was something different in their posts. Kelsey posted a picture of a sunset with no caption. Mom uploaded a blurry shot of her breakfast. Brad posted a meme about first world problems. That didn't land like he thought it would. Even the filters looked more washed out. And the story views? I was watching every single one. Still silent. Still waiting. Later, as I lay in bed, my phone buzzed again. Another message from Brad. Bro, just tell us if this was like intentional or something. We can fix it. Just say something. That was the moment I realized. They were scared. Not because they'd been caught. Not yet. But because I wasn't reacting the way they expected. I wasn't yelling. I wasn't arguing. I wasn't begging to be understood. I was silent. And that silence? It spoke louder than anything I'd ever said. Day 7. 9:12 a.m. I was halfway through installing a smart dimmer switch in a client's hallway when my phone buzzed. Hard. Long. It was the kind of buzz you feel in your spine, not a notification, but a call. Mom. I stared at the screen. Her name glowed like a threat. Same contact photo from years ago, her hugging our childhood dog like she hadn't emotionally dropkicked me for the last decade. I let it ring out. Seconds later, buzz again. Kelsey. Then Brad. Then Dad. All back to back, like a coordinated guilt operation. I flipped the phone over, face down on a stack of screws. Kept working. The hallway dimmer didn't care about my family drama. But they didn't stop. Text after text. The Carter guilt cannon had officially opened fire. Mom. This isn't funny anymore. Call us. Please. Kelsey. Are you serious? You're doing this? What even is wrong with you? Brad, because of course. Bro, this might be a federal crime tbh. I was halfway through a banana when the long one came in. A full scroll of emotional manipulation wrapped in flowery language. Classic mom. I don't know what's gotten into you. We've always loved you. We're family. Yes, we used the points, but you never used them. And Kelsey really needed this. Do you have any idea how stressful things have been for her and Brad? This trip was a blessing. And now we're stranded in another country and humiliated. Is that what you wanted? I reread it while chewing slowly, like each bite was powered by generational disappointment. Humiliated? They booked a first-class trip with my points. Never told me. Never asked? Just assumed. And now I was the villain? No. No. For once, I wasn't going to write the apology. I texted back. We figured you'd help. That's what you said? That was it. No emojis. No explanation. Just their own words. The message was read almost instantly. But nothing came back. 15 minutes later, Kelsey's name popped up. So you're punishing us? Really? This is your big tantrum? Because what, you're bitter? I've always defended you, even when Mom and Dad said you were ungrateful. This is so sad. Defended me. Like I was a stray they took in. Like she deserved applause for not bad-mouthing me more than usual. I didn't reply. Then came Dad. Short. No fluff. Just fix this. Or don't bother coming home. That one sat different. Home. Like that word still meant something. Like I hadn't already spent half my life trying to earn it. I stared at the message until the screen dimmed. Then I turned the phone off completely. Slid it under the couch like it might infect me if I kept holding it. That night, Grace knocked. Foil-wrapped lasagna in hand. You looked like someone who could use a reset, she said. And carbs. We ate on the porch. Talked about her garden, the neighbor's weird wind chimes, and how her cat Steve had developed an obsession with paper bags. No guilt. No conditions. Just warmth. I thought about how many years I'd spent justifying people's cruelty because of their titles: Mom, Dad, Sister. But Grace didn't need a title. She just showed up. With food. And peace. Somewhere in Cancun, the Carter clan was still trying to figure out how a flight got changed. But the truth? It wasn't just the flight. The route home had been broken long before. They just hadn't noticed until they couldn't book their way back. They landed on a Tuesday. No fanfare. No triumphant return. Just an Instagram story from Kelsey, naturally. She'd posted a filtered selfie of her and Brad at baggage claim, both wearing travel pillows and 1,000-yard stares. Caption: When your vacation turns into a Netflix thriller but you survive victory hand airplane nail polish. No tags. No mentions. No apologies. They were back on U.S. soil, but quieter than I expected. No calls. No follow-ups. No angry speeches from Dad demanding I come explain myself like a man. Just silence. And that's when it hit me. They weren't preparing a confrontation. They were embarrassed. Not about what they did, but about what didn't happen. I hadn't chased. I hadn't begged. I hadn't asked for forgiveness or even acknowledged the whole mess. I just kept living. That unsettled them more than anything. 3 days went by. I went to work. Wired a smart garage opener for a dentist with 5 cars and no sense of humor. Helped Grace fix a tripped breaker. Took my neighbor's kid out for ice cream after her piano recital. I didn't think about them. Not because I didn't care, but because for the first time, I wasn't required to. Until Saturday. I was fixing a flickering porch light when I heard it, a soft knock on my front door. Not the aggressive, "Let me in," knock I was expecting, but one that almost sounded unsure. I wiped my hands, walked to the door, and opened it. Mom. Standing there with a tray of lemon bars. Lemon bars. Copying Grace's move. Almost hilariously obvious. I blinked at her. For a second, I honestly thought she might be lost. "Hi, sweetheart," she said. Like this was just a casual visit. Like she hadn't gone nuclear a week ago and accused me of destroying the family. I thought we could talk." She looked different. Smaller. Or maybe it was me, standing taller. I didn't invite her in. Instead, I stepped outside and closed the door behind me. Let her sit on the porch chair, the one Grace used when she dropped off cookies and gossip. I leaned against the railing. She offered the tray. "They're homemade," she said. "Like Grace's." I gave her a long, hard look. "You stalking my neighbor now?" She chuckled nervously. No. Just, she's been posting your lasagna online. Said you're a good kid. Smart. Independent. Made me think. She trailed off. Waited for me to jump in. I didn't. She shifted in her seat. Clutched the tray like it was a peace treaty. "I don't know what happened," she said. "You've always been so generous. So steady. We weren't expecting this." "You've never." "Never what?" I asked. She glanced up. "Never punished us. Like this." There it was. The word they all danced around, punishment. But that's not what this was. "I'm not punishing you," I said. "I'm protecting myself." Her face twitched, barely. But I saw it. "I just thought," she started again. "We've always been able to count on you. We didn't think you'd really let us." She didn't finish. "Get stuck? Get scared? Get humbled? Take your pick." "You never asked," I said. "You just took. And when I stopped letting you, I became the problem. I didn't mean for it to feel like that. I believe that. And it didn't matter." Because intention doesn't undo a pattern. She looked down at the lemon bars. These are your favorites, she said. Used to be, anyway. They weren't. That was Kelsey's favorite. I didn't correct her. I'll let you know, I said slowly, when I'm ready to talk. And then I opened the door. Walked inside. Didn't slam it. Didn't lock it. Just closed it gently. Softly. Like closing a chapter, I finally realized it wasn't mine to carry anymore. It started with a Facebook post. Not mine. Grace's. She'd uploaded a blurry but heartfelt shot of us on her porch, both holding coffee mugs and laughing at something. I think Steve the cat had knocked over a wind chime mid-pounce. The caption? Proud of this one. Built everything with his own 2 hands. Even wired my whole house. No charge. Just heart. I didn't think anything of it. But my family did. Because the comments exploded. Grace had friends, man. Like old school, church basement, potluck sharing loyal Facebook crew. And they were nosy. Comment after comment rolled in. This your neighbor's son? He's a good one. Heard he helped the Johnsons too, rewired their whole 2nd floor. Didn't he just get that city contract? For the senior center remodel? That last one? Yeah. That wasn't public yet. Turns out Grace's cousin was on the city board and had already let it slip. I'd just been selected to lead the entire electrical overhaul of 2 community buildings. It was a 6-month project, a fat check, and a guaranteed future network of clients. The Carter family group chat came alive that evening. Dad. City contract? What city contract? Brad. Wait, are you doing commercial work now? Kelsey. OMG, is that why you've been acting different? Like, I don't need you. Vibes? Mom didn't say anything. I didn't reply. Again. But the next day, I bumped into her. At the grocery store. She was in the bakery aisle, staring at frozen pie crusts like they held life advice. She flinched when she saw me. I just nodded. Started walking past. But she reached out, hand brushing my elbow. You're really not coming back, she said, quiet. Are you? I didn't stop walking. But I turned my head slightly, just enough for her to hear me. I didn't leave, I said. I just stopped being useful. That was it. No rage. No guilt. Just truth. And in her silence I heard it, the first moment she really got it. That night, Kelsey messaged me. Okay, but like real talk, are you seriously the one who got that senior center gig? Because Mom's acting weird and Dad's in a mood. And Brad's trying to Google what conduit wiring is. Faced with tears of joy. I left it on read. Meanwhile, Grace knocked on my door with another tray. Not lasagna this time, brownies. What's the occasion? I asked, raising an eyebrow. She grinned. You're on TV, she said. Local news just aired a segment. You look terrified. Stop fidgeting with your belt in interviews. I groaned. They said it'd be audio only. Well, she said, pushing the tray into my hands, next time don't wear your oldest jeans. And sure enough, there I was, 30 minutes later, caught on the 6 o'clock local news, standing awkwardly in front of the senior center, holding a clipboard like it might explode. The anchor called me a local small business owner empowering the neighborhood through skilled trades. The Carter group chat exploded again. Brad. Bro. You're literally on TV right now. Dad. Why didn't you tell us? Kelsey. I told them you were doing well. They didn't listen. Mom. We're proud of you. I stared at that last message. 4 words. Years late. Still, they didn't land. Because it wasn't pride. It was panic. The realization that I'd stopped orbiting their lives. That I didn't need them to see me anymore. Because others already did. Grace. The community. The city. Even Steve the cat, who now claimed me as furniture. I'd built something real. And the best part? I didn't owe anyone an explanation. Sunday morning. Quiet. Still. I was sipping coffee on the porch when the group chat lit up again, this time with urgency. Dad. We need to talk. Now. Mom. Can we come by? Please. It's important. Kelsey. It's about the flights. Flights? I blinked. Scrolled back. There it was, a forwarded email. Apparently, they'd booked another vacation. Cabo this time. Used the last of their own airline credits and tried to top off the reservation using my new points. Except they couldn't. Because I'd moved them. Months ago, actually, after they'd used me the first time, I set up a whole new rewards account under my business LLC. New login. New card. New everything. They weren't even denied. They were flagged. Security notice. Attempted use of unauthorized credentials. Frozen. Their names were now marked for account review. I could almost hear the family dinner argument that followed. And then, silence again. For hours. Until around noon, when I got a text from Brad of all people. Dude. You locked us out. The miles. The upgrades. Everything. Then, a follow-up. Not cool, man. Not after everything we did for you. I laughed. Actually laughed. Everything they did? I built their deck. Wired their garage. Lent them money I never saw again. Babysat. Cooked. Moved furniture. Bought groceries. Sat through birthdays where I wasn't acknowledged and holidays where I played photographer but was never in the photo. And now I was not cool for protecting myself? I didn't reply. Instead, I took a walk. Downtown. Past the community center I was now remodeling. Past the library I'd volunteered at. Past the corner cafe where Grace had made a chalk sign that said, "Coffee's on us, electrician guy." People waved. Nodded. Called me by name. I felt known. Not tolerated. Not used. Not the backup sibling or walking ATM. Just me. That night, another knock. I opened the door to find an envelope taped to it. No one in sight. Inside was a letter. From Mom. I don't know how we got here. You were always the easy one. The dependable one. We didn't mean to take advantage. But maybe we did. I see now that we hurt you. And I'm sorry. I hope someday you'll come back. I sat on the couch and stared at it. Folded it once. Twice. Slid it into a drawer. Then I opened my laptop. Typed one sentence. Please remove the following users from all associated accounts, names listed. Click. Sent. No rage. No last words. Just closure. And one last quiet moment as I sipped my coffee again, watching the sun dip low, while somewhere in a group chat, someone asked, "Wait, why can't we check in for the return flight?"